everyone, welcome to the second session of this amazing series I'm doing on 5 things you need to know about loneliness. I'm so happy to get your feedback. I'm happy to get your comments, those are listening to the first session. And I'm excited today and I'm so blessed. I feel that you're going to be so blessed by this session. I feel that the things that I'm about to share with you will really bless and impact your life. And what I'm sharing today is the signs and symptoms of loneliness. Yes, the signs and symptoms of loneliness. Everything that I'm sharing in this series is coming out from my book. I've not completed the book yet, but I'm going to complete it this year and publish it this year, hopefully, on healing the lonely heart. And so I'm getting some nuggets out of that book to share with you so your life can be blessed and transformed. And so the second thing I want to talk about when it comes to loneliness are the signs and symptoms of loneliness. What is the first sign of loneliness? The first sign of loneliness is depression. Yes, depression is such an epidemic in our world right now. In fact, it's a global pandemic. So many people are suffering from depression. Depression is when you have this overwhelming feeling of heaviness and tiredness. And when you're suffering from depression, it doesn't matter what you do, this overwhelming feeling and sensation just stays with you and never leaves you. It doesn't matter if you sleep 18 hours a day. When you're suffering from depression, no amount of sleep can deal with that, because depression is actually a disease of the soul, and depression is one of the first signs that you're probably suffering from loneliness. Other times, depression could be demonic. You could become depressed when you're demonically oppressed. One of the things that loneliness brings to your life is demonic oppression. Most people who suffer from loneliness become demonized or become oppressed because their souls is like a vacuum. It's like an empty spot that the enemy comes and whisper lies to their ears. So your depression could be caused by a demonic presence. Also, depression can be psychosomatic. Depression affects you physically. When you're depressed, you find that you're always feeling sick, you're feeling tired. It begins to affect your output. You become unproductive. You find that you easily lose your energy. Depression, and there's so many people who are suffering from depression nowadays, and it doesn't matter what you do, no matter how many antidepressant drugs you take, the root of depression is deeply rooted in your soul. You are probably suffering from loneliness. The next sign and symptom that probably you're suffering from loneliness is what I call materialism. Yes, you got it right, materialism. Most people who suffer from loneliness, they turn to material possessions to feel happy. They turn to getting a car or getting a house. They turn to physical things or traveling to try to fill that void. When people feel lonely, they feel that they could maybe drink themselves out of that loneliness or smoke themselves out of that loneliness and out of that depression. They become materially focused. They become driven to achieve money. Not for anything, but they feel that the more money they get, the more friends they are going to have, or the bigger their house, the more people are going to love them. And one of the reasons is because loneliness causes such a self-hatred that you're driven to achieve material things just to get significance. So are you one of those people that your life is driven about getting money or getting a house or getting the latest phone or the latest dress or the latest shoe? Are you driven by material possessions? Are you trying to fill the void of loneliness on the inside by gaining material possessions? That's the second sign that probably you're suffering from loneliness. That's the second sign probably you're suffering from loneliness. The third thing is that when you're suffering from loneliness, the third sign that you're suffering from loneliness is that you're always surrounded by lonely people. One of the things that loneliness does is that it attracts after its kind. Lonely people always attract other lonely people because they are looking for someone that will empathize with them, somebody that will share in their depression, in their tiredness, in their frustration. So if you look around your life, if everyone around your life is suffering from depression and loneliness and materialism, then probably is a sign that you too you're suffering from loneliness. When you look around your environment, your friends, when you look at the life of your friends and what is their lifestyle, are they suffering from depression? Are they lonely as you? Are you attracting lonely people to your life? If you keep attracting lonely people to your life, if you keep being pulled towards the company of the lonely, then probably you're suffering from loneliness. That's one of the signs and symptoms of loneliness. One of the things that lonely people usually say is that they don't have any friends, and usually it's because they have people around them, but usually they don't have any connection with those people. So that's one of the signs of loneliness. Another sign of symptom of loneliness is addictions. When you are suffering from loneliness, usually there is a pain in your soul that you need to fill up. And many people turn to addictions to try to fill that gap in their soul. For me, I turn to porn and to other form of addiction to try to fill that gap on the inside of me. Because loneliness leaves you with a void on the inside, a void that needs to be satisfied. And so some people turn to alcohol, some people turn to smoking, some people turn to all kinds of addictions. Some people are addicted to the internet, they are addicted to movies, some people are addicted to food. Food was one of my addictions. When I was growing up, I developed a love for food and I ate excessively and I become a glutton because I was trying to fill the gap. I remember whenever I felt lonely, I would go out there and get biscuits or chocolate just to try to fill that void of loneliness and aloneness on the inside. And so that's one of the things, addictions. Do you have any addictions in your life that you have been praying for? You have been trying to deal with those addictions over the years, and those addictions are not going anywhere. The root cause is to heal the lonely heart. It doesn't matter how much you pray, it doesn't matter how much you fast. If your source of addiction is loneliness, it's going to keep coming back. And that was my problem. I did everything possible to deal with my addictions, but it kept coming back because the root cause of that loneliness was a hurt in my heart. My heart needed to be healed. You need to heal your heart to be able to deal with that. And now, one of the other signs and symptoms of loneliness is sickness and disease. It's been scientifically proven that people who suffer from loneliness, it affects their immunity, and so they are susceptible to diseases, especially when it comes to cold. A lot of people who suffer from cold, sometimes it could be because of loneliness. So when you are lonely, it affects your immunity. You find that you're easily susceptible, you easily get sick, or you have recurrent diseases. There are people that I see that they go to the hospital every other week, and no matter, it doesn't matter how many drugs you take, it doesn't matter what you eat, it doesn't matter the prescription, if you don't heal the lonely heart, you are wasting your time. Loneliness will affect your health. Loneliness will depreciate your health. And so for so long in my life, I was always lean and always looking tired and sick. And one of the reasons was loneliness. It doesn't matter how much I ate, I always felt sick. Are you one of those kind of people? Probably your sickness could be because of loneliness. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about today about the signs and symptoms of loneliness is that you never feel rested. You are not feeling rested. It doesn't matter how much you sleep. It doesn't matter how much entertainment. It doesn't matter how you relax. You can go to the best beach. In fact, you can spend the whole day at home just lying down and eating and watching movies. It doesn't matter what you do for fun. It doesn't matter. You always feel not rested. Most people who suffer from loneliness also suffer from insomnia. They don't sleep at night. At night, they spend time thinking about the worries of their soul. As I said, loneliness is an infection of your soul, and it steals your peace, it steals your joy, it steals your happiness. Lonely people spend the whole night rolling from one end of the bed to the next, to the other end of the bed, thinking about their lives, thinking about the challenges that they are going through, because loneliness opens the door of deep insecurities that keeps you restless throughout the night. So are you having a sleepless night? Do you feel not well rested, or you lack the ability to fully come to that place of joy and peace and rest? You are probably suffering from loneliness. So I hope this video of this second session has been a blessing to you. I hope you have learned some of the signs and symptoms of loneliness, and I want you to look at your life and I want you to look at all of the signs and symptoms, and if you have a couple of them, you have about 2 or 3 of them, you're probably suffering from loneliness, and it's time you begin to heal your heart. It's time you open your heart to the love of God and begin to take steps towards healing your heart. I can't wait to share with you the next session. I'm excited, and I can't wait to get your feedback, your comments. Please don't forget to subscribe and to like this video and to comment under this video. I would like to know your thoughts about this session. Thank you very much. God bless you.